Have you ever had an experience where you've made a friend online and you've been chatting for ages and you feel like you know each other, yet when you actually meet up with them, you suddenly feel really awkward and shy and you don't know why that is? The reason why it is because this is the first time you've actually met the person. This is the first time you're actually having a genuine interaction with them. That's why you feel awkward, because you are meeting someone new. So even if you've been chatting for years and years online, even if you've been video calling them, it still feels awkward because this is the first time you've actually met them. How to use social media when dating. Hi guys, my name is Christine Loveridge and today I'm talking about how to use social media effectively when you are dating. Because believe me, there are right ways and wrong ways of using social media when you are in the dating world. Especially when you are desperately trying to find yourself someone to be with, someone to be in a relationship with. So how can you maximize your chances of finding the right one? How can you maximize your chances on not messing up when you do find the right one? And I'm going to go into some of these tips on how to use social media when dating. So the first thing that I want to discuss is to never use social media as a form of manipulation. So this is basically posting things that you are using to try and get a reaction out of the person you are dating or the person that you like. So when it does come to posting on social media, make sure that you are just posting things that you genuinely want to post and you're not using it as a way to get a reaction out of the people that you like or the people that you are dating. Because more often than not, if you are using social media as a manipulation tool, then it's very likely that they will be able to tell that you are doing this. They will be able to see and sense that this post could be about them, or it's for them, or you're using it to get a reaction out of them. It may seem subtle to you, but it's probably not that subtle. Even if you think you're being subtle, don't assume that it is subtle to the person you're posting for. So if you are posting a picture of yourself that you think is really good, ask yourself, why are you posting it? Am I posting it because I'm really proud of how I look in this photo? Or am I posting it hoping that the person I like will see it and it's going to get a reaction out of them? It's going to cause them to message me or cause them to like the post. So always have that in the back of your mind whenever you are posting anything. Is this for myself because I really like whatever it is I'm going to post and I find it funny or enjoyable, or it's something that I really want to talk about? Or am I posting it because I want to get a reaction out of someone? Remember, doing something like that is a form of manipulation. Even if your intentions are well-meaning, it's still manipulation. So my next tip on how to use social media effectively is to use messaging rarely. So if you are dating someone and let's say they're really, really attractive, it's very likely that they have a lot of people in their DMs already. They may have another couple of people that they are dating as well. So if you want to stand out and be different, then don't message them that often. Don't try to get to know them over Messenger and start conversations with them over Messenger. Use Messenger as a tool to actually meet up with them as opposed to getting to know them. As human beings, we are literally not designed to actually get to know someone over social media, over Messenger. And why is this? Have you ever had an experience where you've made a friend online and you've been chatting for ages and you feel like you know each other, yet when you actually meet up with them, you suddenly feel really awkward and shy and you don't know why that is? The reason why it is because this is the first time you've actually met the person. This is the first time you're actually having a genuine interaction with them. That's why you feel awkward, because you are meeting someone new. So even if you've been chatting for years and years online, even if you've been video calling them, it still feels awkward because this is the first time you've actually met them. This is the first time you can pick up on their vibes, their body language. This is the first time you've ever been able to hear their voice really clearly. And this is the first time you're seeing them for what they really are. You can see what they really look like. And that's why it feels really awkward when you meet someone who you've only known online and you've only been messaging online. So we are literally not designed, our brains are not designed to get to know someone over Messenger and stuff like that. Things like messaging apps and messaging online and online forums and all this kind of stuff, this kind of internet correspondence, emails, it hasn't been around for very long. And humans, we have been around for hundreds of thousands of years, probably even more. I don't know the exact amount of years we've been on the planet, but it's been a long time. Our brains are designed to get to know people in person and face to face, and having real connections with people in front of us. So when you're using Messenger, use it as a way to facilitate meeting up with them. And you can say to them, just be like, I don't really like getting to know people online. I'd rather get to know you properly in person and ask you questions about yourself in person, because I feel like there can be a lot of miscommunication. You don't have to use this as kind of like a trick or a tool or a manipulation thing, not sending that many messages. You don't have to use it in a game. It doesn't have to be a game. You don't have to be playing games. You can be genuine about this. Okay, and this is how I felt about it when I started to learn this information. I think I first learned it from Coach Corey Wayne, and he says use the phone for setting up dates, for setting up appointments, and not to get to know someone. So be honest about it. You don't have to, hide this from them and being sneaky. You could just say, look, I would rather, instead of getting to know you over the internet, how about we meet up next week? And I would love to get to know you on a date in person with you, as opposed to chit-chatting online for ages. And guess what? Because of the age we live in now, this kind of thing is really rare. Most people are always in each other's DMs. So you'll be acting completely different than everyone else they might be dating. You will be setting yourself apart and being unique. And if you want to stand out, especially if you are dating someone who's really attractive and let's say they've got loads of people in their DMs and loads of people that want to date them, then by not messaging them and telling them why, if they ask, of course, you'll be being very different. You'll be being very unique. So let me give you my story and how I personally did this, and I'm now happily engaged. So basically, when I matched with my fiance, we sent a couple of messages back and forth. Once I created a little bit of rapport with her, I then asked for her Facebook details. She gave me her Facebook details. I added her on Facebook. I messaged her in Facebook Messenger. And within the space of a few messages that we sent back and forth, I arranged a date with her, a specific time, a specific place, and we had arranged our first date. This all happened within the first evening. This all happened in the space of a couple of hours. Now, I'm not saying I messaged her for 2 hours, because obviously the time difference between responding to messages, there can be a bit of a gap. So let's say she sent me a message and I replied 20 minutes later, and then she sent me another message 10 minutes later, and I sent her another message 20 minutes later. It went something like that. We wasn't chatting for 2 hours. I set up a date with her after matching with her within 2 hours. There's a difference. So when you match with someone online, or you start talking to a girl that you really like, that you want to go on a date with, get things moving, get the date set up. And you do that by coming up with a good time, a good place. Ask when they're available to meet up with you, because they might be busy during the week, especially if they work or if they've got school or something. Ask them when they're available. When they tell you what days they're available, pick a place, pick a time, ask if that's good for them. If it's good for them, great. You're ready to go on a date with them. And if they say to you, look, are we not going to talk in between then? Are we not going to get to know each other? If they question why you don't want to be really talking to them in between those dates, in between setting up the date and the date, and if they get a bit weird about it, you can just say to them the truth. Say to them, I'd rather get to know you in person rather than over the internet. I'd rather ask these questions about yourself when we meet up, as opposed to doing it all now and then we have nothing to talk about. If you say it in that way, it'll come across as very logical and it'll make sense to her or him. So my next tip on how to use social media when dating is to be a positive poster. Don't put anything on your timelines or on your feed that is negative, that has like sad quotes, and it just looks like you're having a really horrible life. No one really wants to be with someone who's miserable. No one wants to be with someone who doesn't have a plan for their life. No one wants to be with someone who just is always really upset and miserable about their circumstances. So if you're going to post anything on social media, make sure that it's light-hearted or funny or just positive. You don't want to come across as someone who's really, really miserable or nihilistic or anything like that. You want to come across as someone who likes their life. I mean, you don't have to be bouncing off the walls happy, but you're at least not miserable and hate your life and hate your job or whatever your circumstances are. So basically, when someone you like comes across your social media page and they'll see that you at least like your life and you're not negative, they're able to see like, oh, this person seems to really enjoy their life. That's great. I would love to be a part of that. I'd love to join in on the fun, basically. My next tip on how to use social media when dating is, if you're posting things that are happy and positive, then you really do need to be living that life. Remember, you don't want to post things that are a form of manipulation. You really want to have a life that you are proud of and that you like. So if you don't have a life that you like at the moment, you need to start making a plan for having a better life for yourself, or finding ways to enjoy your current situation more. Because if you look for those kinds of things, like if you look for ways to make your life more fun and more enjoyable, and you focus on that and you ask yourself that question, how can I make this more fun for myself? Your brain will start giving you answers. And when you start thinking of more ways to make life fun for you, start acting upon it. The most important thing for you to do with your social media pages is to come across as believable. And if you post really, really positive stuff, but when you meet up with them, they can tell that you're really negative and you're just sitting there complaining about things, then obviously there's a huge inconsistency. So you need to make sure that your life and your social media page are consistent. But obviously, if you are negative and you don't like your life, I'm not saying that you should still post negative things on your page so you're believable. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is if you are going to post, if you have got nothing good to post and you've got nothing positive to post, then don't post anything on social media. Just have, photos, have your friends tag you and stuff, but don't you post things if you do not have a life that you like. But if you don't have a life that you like, you need to start making sure that you are planning on doing that and start doing things to make you have a better life for yourself. If you need help with this, then I highly recommend that you watch this video on how to improve your life. If you would also like more help, then please go to www.christineloveridge.com/shop. On that page, you will find a free dating manual that I created. This is a new product. It's completely free that you can get from my website, that you can get for yourself, and that will hopefully help you out in this situation. However, it is targeted at people that are masculine, so masculine men and women who want to attract someone feminine into their lives. If you have any stories yourself or any tips yourself, then please leave them down in the comments, as I am really interested to know and we can all help each other out. Please like this video, please subscribe, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye, guys.